Well, I already have two of the Hawks. I've got the old 1970s Airfix one, and then I've got the MPC one. Now, for the longest time, this was considered to be 1/72nd scale. This one is not only a far more accurate shape, it's more accurate size. This is meant to be a true 1/72nd scale kit. So I've got two. Why would I need a third? Well, the reason I've got this one, as you can tell by the size, this one is considerably bigger. This is a 1/48 scale version of the Hawk, and the reason I've got that is I've already got one craft from Space 1999 in 1/48 scale. It's the tank that I made recently, all right? But I haven't got a spacecraft. But I have now, because this is where I am at the moment currently with this 3D printed side-on ship. All right, and this is 1/48 scale, and I thought, well, if I've got a 1/48 scale spacecraft from Space 1999's universe, that's a good excuse to get another one, and I can compare and contrast just what like an Earth-based fighter spacecraft is compared to the side-ons version. So this is the unboxing, cellophane wrapped. So let's get her open. The box is incredibly dusty. I got this off of eBay. It would seem to be about the cheapest place I could get it. So let's have a quick look before I crack on. That's better. Get that off. So typical of MPC, side box information. Yeah. Flip him over. Oh, that's going to be good for decal placements and stuff. Ooh, that's elaborate. Never had that before. We've got a cardboard keeper in placer, I suppose. Instruction sheet. This might be MPC and it might be the 21st century, but I can clearly remember, yeah, that's exactly what you did back in the 70s with the Hawk from Airfix. All right, it's good to see. Nice big decal sheet. I remember from this one, that one had quite a comprehensive decal sheet, so that's going to be good. Seems to be their obligatory black dome and metal rod stand. What we've got one bag of sprues. Oh wow, the size of that engine housing compared to that one. Blimey. Oh, clear plastic for the cockpit windows. Ah, yeah, I seem to remember you could get a brass etched after sales cockpit. I don't think I'll be going that route. That's the wings. Oh, there we go. That gives you a good early indicator of the size of it. Let's bring in the Airfix, which is smaller, then it's going to look even bigger compared to that. Look at the difference. All right, let's bring the other one in as well. He's feeling lonely. Yeah, quite a difference. All right, so this is the unboxing then. This afternoon, it's a sunny bank holiday Saturday, and all I'm going to be doing in a minute is that side-on ship. I'm going to be giving it a wash of isopropyl alcohol, and then tomorrow I'm going to be priming it. So while all that's drying, I can start on this. See, there is thought behind all this. Yeah, and as usual, along the sides, I'll be referring to this decal placement things. Wow, you've got a decal for each one of the black solar panels. Blimey. All right, so there we go. Unboxing done, and I'll be back with things snipped, I guess. So construction has begun. This is one of the braces which goes out from the main body out onto the wings. Um, had a few problems with the construction so far. These, the left and right one, on one of them, the part numbers were wrong. And another problem is the holes for the locating lugs were too small for the locating lugs to go into, so you have to widen them up with a scalpel. But eh, nothing too bad. It's interesting as we go along, spotting the kit parts that Martin Bauer used, represented in a smaller scale. And this little affair down here is off one of the FX hovercraft kits that he put down in there just to busy it up. A bit more detail in. Um, Here's the engine bell. What a whopper. I've made spacecraft in their entirety that are this sort of size, but this is just the engine bell. It's a nice nice bit of work there. What else have I got for you? Yeah, another kit part. This is one of the oh, sorry, that's one of the side engine wings, because this is the wing for the weapons pods. All right, and I know this piece very well. This piece is off of the old Airfix 124th scale Harrier jump jet, and it's a bit that you never actually see if you build the Harrier jump jet. You never see this. This is part of the inside workings of the vertical lifting jet things, you know, things that turn around. This is on the inside, and it's a nifty shape, and Martin's used that a couple of times at least in Space 1999. They're on these wings here, and in the story The Bringers of Wonder, the Super Swift has a pilot ship with these like whacking great big engine balls on the side, and yeah, there's one of them prominently on them. All right. This was a bit of a niggle. Well, no, not a niggle. It's this is one of those side thingamajigs. All right, it's going to be joining on like that. These, right, these maneuvering thruster things. You have that rectangular shape, and then you have to glue on these tiny, tiny little nozzles, all four of them. But the problem is they slide over a little nub, all right? And you have to be very, very careful when you're cutting that rectangle off the sprue, in that the sprue is attached to the nub. And if you're not careful, you're going to cut the nub or snap the nub off trying to get that off the sprue. So I recommend if you're going to make this model, um, use a brand new scalpel blade. Don't try and force it, because you'll just snap them off. All right. Another thing just to point out, kit part spotting, is these bits Martin put on the bottom. They're I don't know what they do, but they're on the lunar lander, the Apollo lunar lander. The Airfix kit had these, and they're sort of like on the side. If you imagine it's got a face and you're looking at the face of the lunar lander, these are on the side, and I've got one in my bits box. That's one off of the Airfix kit. So that's the actual size that was used on the studio scale model, and here it is represented in this 1/48 scale one. All right, and the only other thing to show you today is this. Both windows are clear, all right, and what I've done is I've stuck them on, and I'm doing what I always do when there's no cockpit. I mean, I know I said before I could put a cockpit in, but I'm not. So what I've done is I've glued the clear plastic parts in, and then on the back I've painted it black, because then you've got this lovely, smooth, shiny surface. And I'm going to do something a bit radical now. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paint this properly, all bar the weathering, before I do anything else. The reason for that is if you can see in there, um, I've got a paint down in here, all right? This is the serrated plasticard strips that Martin had. Um, and he's put it all the way down there. So that has to be painted. I mean, I'm going to use decals on there and there, but that has to be painted. And then, let's see if I can get the light right. Can you see that there's a lip? Can you see that? There's an edge all round the window. There's a window frame, basically, on all three sides of that window. So if I stick this into the model, it's going to be a swine to try and get in there and get that masking tape in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the masking tape in a minute, spray this up in primer, and then spray it in Ford Diamond White. Because then I've done all that. That will all be outlined and everything. I'll keep the masking tape on until the very, very end. But I think that's going to help me out quite a bit. Um, all right, so I'll come back once I've done that, and pretty much everything assembled, I guess. Okay, so that's the cockpit area masked up, primed, and base coated in diamond white. Okay, so that's all done. That's all good. And as you can see, I've put both halves of the body together, wings on, rear on. The only niggle, the only small problem, this side, it's gone fine. A little bit of a line there, but I've got a step just here, which I don't like. So I've got to put some filler in there and just smooth that out. All right. But yeah, on the way now. And yeah, starting to get some mass to it. Okay, coming together now. Um, and I think it's at this point that I'm going to start attaching things not with glue but with blue tack. The instructions do say better to build it in sub-assemblies and paint it in sub-assemblies, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So the solar panel affair isn't going on yet. Some more of the underside's going to be going on, but I'm thinking ahead to when I'm going to weather it with the washes, and getting into there and then dabbing the wash off is not going to be possible with all the framework in place. All right, I'm going to be attaching the side mounting points for the other engines, but like here, um, all the gubbins that goes on around here, I'm going, as I said, with the orange version, and this band has to be orange, and that's going to be tricky to do with everything on. So I'm going to be blue tacking things on for the priming and base coating stage. All right. Something I just want to point out, if you see in here, MPC have been accurate in that they've recreated the Airfix 1/72nd scale lunar lander. That's the front of it, that's the face of it, and that's the back of it. All right, then you've got an upside down one there. All right, and then you've got another face of one just there. All right, um, and again, just to show you what the scale of the original was, if you see that, the rear of it there, that's one of them there. That's the actual size of it. All right. And oh yeah, while we're talking about sizes, I thought it'd be quite fun. Now we've got the main bulk of him. My side-on ship, which I'm still awaiting a can of paint from Germany for, is meant to be 1/48 scale as well. So let's put the two alongside each other. I can see that working. If you've got two pilots in the beak here, they could easily fit in there. This is a bit narrow for a connecting tube, so I think if this is indeed 1/48 scale, that this ship is very much like the Hawk in that there's some sort of like access panel. You get into the bit at the front, and all the rest is just engines and stuff. Right, well, we're nearly assembled, and I just thought one more bit of kit part spotting before I put the other side engine on. So what have we got? Well, as I said earlier, FX lunar module front there. I remember these. These are off of the 1/24th scale Airfix Harrier jump jet. That's something to do with the weapons pods that were underneath their stubby wings. They got wings not unlike these, and that was something that missiles attached to. I know those. These I can't remember. I know there's a whole row of these things, and Martin either got them off of like the B-29 Super Fortress plane or B-19, or it's one of the rocket kits. I can't remember. But yeah, that's them all in a line. This bit, I remember him saying, this is off the SRN 1. It's the 1 or the 4 hovercraft by Airfix. And he said he just put that in there because it looked a bit bare. So he just stuck that in there. In reality, that's about yay big. All right. These are off of the Airfix lunar lander as well. These are the ones I've just blue tacked, as you can see, in place. And then on the other underside, you've got more of these little things. These two things are from the Airfix lunar lander. I mean, it's a fantastic resource for parts. These are not only do you get the lunar lander, you get like the survey equipment, and this is like I think this is like the flatbed of the instrument trolley or whatever it was, you know. So we've got them either side. These, I don't know why they've been sculpted like this. One of my next steps is to put circular things over that. I don't know why they couldn't have just been done like that. But these are the infamous detail parts on the original. Martin Bauer used, and I don't know where the heck he got them from, but he used the you know, on a mattress, on the side of a mattress, you get there's a little round thing with holes in it, and it's to allow air to go into the mattress. That's what those were. All right. So yeah, that's what they are. I think that's us done. As you can see, there's lots of holes still because there's lots more things to attach, but this is going to be mainly the grid work on the underside, and I'm holding that off. This is a nice touch. It doesn't say anything about it in the instructions, but that is the mounting point if you're going to use the black dome and metal rod stand for it. And if you don't, you've got to spare one of them and you stick it in. So that's a nice touch. So yeah, almost done. I think next time I come back to you, it's going to be with him built in prime and primed either in grey or white. All right, that's the Hawk all assembled. Well, I say assembled, it's all together, but lots of parts of it are held in place with blue tack, like this whole underside framework here is blue tacked in. This part here is blue tacked in. A bit off the top was blue tacked on and is now falling off. And that's just going to make it easier for me to paint when I go to put the washes on. All right. And same up here. This bit from the lunar lander is blue tacked on. This bit from the lunar lander is blue tacked on. This whole framework and the framework underneath down in there, blue tacked on. And yeah, the solar panels, if that's what they are. I remember Martin Bauer telling me once that this was actually a foot pad for a spacecraft that he was making. That was the foot of something. A leg came up from there and he's just flipped it. And that's what became the solar panel. So yeah, almost ready to go outside and spray it. I think this was going to be one long video, but I think it's going to be too long because the painting is going to take a while. So I think this is end of part 1, and I'll come back with a second video for the whole putting the colours on.